Okay, let's see if we're live.
No, that's not what I said. That's what I said. Thank you.
You can do it, Twitch. I believe in you. Should I?
So, so I've made a whole bunch of like notepad pages for the show notes in my notepad app that I use,
Uh-huh.
and I've got like pre-show, critical misses, we rogue like it, TVGP titles. That's the thing I break it down by.
Right.
So I was like, I'm just gonna cut Dying Light out of here and put it on the next one really quick.
Uh-huh.
And then I loaded up the next one. It's like, oh wait, no, none of my template stuff is here. Like,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Okay, whatever. So fine. Copy it from previous one to the other notes, control all copy, head to the next one to do it for the next one. Every single other page of show notes for the rest of the year that I've got, all have that in, except for next week's.
It's a concerning sign.
Yep.
Jeez. I forgot to pull up a video here for one of my games. Okay. Hello, Internet, by the by.
I hate Tamor. He got that stuck in my head, and I'm not happy with him.
Okay. Are you ready to go live?
No.
Or start the episode, I guess. We've been live and recording for a while. LOL.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Moonpier.
Howdy.
Nimp is off on vacation this week, so it's just the two of us. You can support all of us over at patreon.com/E1M1.
Damn ones be numbers.
Get all the early access and behind the scenes and exclusive audio over there, like the Outcast, where Moon and I, in a breaking piece of content, drink the same thing at the same time across the country. How did we do it? We each happened to buy the same drink separately this week.
We didn't have a 5,000-mile straw.
No. New project, new podcast. Let's go. This is our ticket to Spotify, the 5,000-mile straw. It's like a James and a Giant Peach sort of business. It's so stupid.
No, dude, it's a Mr. Beast video.
That's true. So if you want to hear stupidity like this, you can get all of that in the Outcast every week. The uncensored and exclusive episode. You also get 2-week early access to We Rogue Like It. Sean, Moon, and I are playing seemingly every roguelike ever made, which there are 30 more every day, so this Sisyphean task continues. And then Critical Misses, where Moon and I are going to catch up on all the meaty hits we missed, kind of comics and books and TV and music and all sorts of stuff. We're trying to put a little variety in there every once in a while. Get all of that over to patreon.com/E1M1.
1 equals numbers.
Snuck that in right before Moon started drinking his drink. Usually I'm wrapping it up as Moon is mid-drink.
You always time it perfectly, so I've got to stop whatever I'm in the process of doing. Be it drinking, notes, whatever it is, just so I can... Yep. Otherwise I miss it, and it makes me look bad.
Yeah. All right, Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so Cult of the Lamb, played that. We roguelike the current season. Check out the science and the scientists for that upcoming episode.
If you like roguelikes, it's a very good one of those.
Not to break our hour-and-a-half podcast down into 2 sentences or anything, but you know.
Whoops.
Make them listen to the show, Boston.
I know. We roguelike it. We're us and the scientists, who are definitely not the same person.
Nope.
They are playing some roguelikes.
I'm either a children's book or an antivirus software from Doctor Who, depending on which point of view you come in at it
That's
from.
right. That's right.
That's a deep cut, and very few people will get it.
Oh God.
Okay. Are you ready for the stupidest lists I've had in a while?
Oh, Moon. I'm so ready.
Because if I gave you the choice of guessing what I have been playing and you haven't cheated and looked at my game card,
I have not.
you wouldn't get these. You get a couple of them, but you wouldn't get them all.
Okay.
So we're going to start with Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
The easy one. The nice and easy one.
That's the free space in the middle of the bingo card.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the one in the middle that you get, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, capitalism runs amok in the 2022 bingo card kind of thing. We had a rough week this week.
Rough week in the killer mines, huh?
Yes. More than a little bit. So we all jumped in, we all started playing, we were having a good time, having fun. And we managed to frustrate one of the killers, the first killer we came across as a group. We frustrated them so bad that they quit right as we opened the door.
Oh, God. You love to see it.
I have a challenge which is escape 4 times. I got credit for the challenge of 1, so I'm counting that as an escape, even though we didn't technically run through the door. Instead, we got a quitter bonus.
Oh, okay. Wait, you as players got a bonus because the killer quit?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I kind of like that. Destiny 2 has a very big quitting problem in PvP at the moment. I kind of like the idea of like, yeah, if you quit, the other team's going to get more stuff. I like that kind of play
you get,
there.
I think if you escape through the door, you get like 2,000 blood points. If you're the Obsession, you get a further 1,000. We got all the Jennies done. We got the doors popped. We opened one of the doors and the killer just quit. And it's like, quitter bonus, 7,000 blood points.
Wow. So it's not even just like, yeah, you get 100. It doesn't matter. It's like, no, man, you're like more than tripling their stuff. Are you really gonna quit? Although, like, don't people always want to like have an issue here? I don't care if people quit because their internet dies or the servers are weird or solar rays happen. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone being like, yeah, I'm leaving. Yeah. That's the
exactly
quitter voice.
What happened in this case. Hold on a minute. I'm just writing this down because that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Okay.
Was it the solar rays?
It was 100% the solar rays.
If anyone doesn't know what that's a reference to, by the way, it's a real thing. You need to Google Oracle solar rays, where they do some investigation on why a bunch of data got lost on an important database. Guess what it turned out to be, actually?
The sun shining on them?
No, it was actual solar ray, like a solar. It was like a solar burst, essentially, and it upset a bunch of hard drives. It was wild.
Okay, good to know.
Just like the recent thing where a bunch of Windows 95 or 98 machines have their hard drives locking up because of Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation is bothering the normal function of hard drives in laptops. Turns out to not be an April Fool's thing and a thing that is actually working and a real problem.
So is that like a vibrational resonancy thing?
The resonancy of like the Rhythm Nation is perfect to upset 5400 RPM hard drives running Windows 98.
And the only people who would be listening to that song is people who are running the hardware, so it's a big problem.
It's probably true. Also, the juxtaposition of us watching Dead by Daylight gameplay while talking about Janet Jackson is pretty great.
At least it's not Tim Blake.
That's right. That's right.
But no, it was a good run. The killer got annoyed that basically couldn't stop us, but they were also playing as the teleporty, the mirror lady. So she like moves like fractured glass and like has all these crunchy noises.
Does she have a cool name like Reflecto or something?
No, it's not the spirit. It's something else. I don't know. The killers, because they each have a name and then a code name that
like their nickname.
The game gives them. But
My real name
you
is Wesker, but they call me Big Blue. It's like, what? Why? What?
the genius, I believe.
Giving him a lot of credit. All right.
Uh-huh. It's so stupid.
I love
It's
you,
so
Dead by
dumb.
Daylight.
I'm actually going to check what it is. This is Rin Yamaoka, and she is the spirit.
The spirit. Okay.
But she's got like glass protruding from her, and she's just
That's
sorry,
cool.
it's not the genius, it's the mastermind. It's
The
so much
master.
worse.
All right.
He's going to play that 4-color game where at the thing and try and guess the colors right.
That's right. Gets it every
That's
time.
That's what it was called in England, by the way. I don't know if it's called something else over here. But no, yeah, she's the stupid mirror lady, and it was fine. They quit. We got a bunch of blood points, whatever. After that, we went on an absolute tear of getting our backsides handed to us.
Okay.
Over and over and over and over again.
Nature rebalancing and healing itself.
Yes, but the worst thing was, it wasn't like I would feel fine. Like I have been wrecked by some nurses. And if you're a nurse player and you wreck an entire team, especially a 4-stack,
that's right.
Like, fine, you have put the time in. You are good with one of the hardest characters to play in the game.
Yeah, like you can appreciate someone being like, "This is my main, and I know it's difficult to execute on, but I'm gonna dedicate myself to this." You got to respect that. I like that.
Yeah, you put the time in. You put the time in, you know the controls, you literally teleported and grabbed me off a pallet, so sure, whatever.
Wow, okay.
It's absolutely fantastic. But when the doctor rolls in and wrecks a team, it's just like, come on. It's baby's first killer. Play somebody else.
Right.
When the Wraith is the invisible one rolls in and wrecks a team, it's like, oh, it's baby's first killer version 2.
I wish with the Wraith it had proximity voice chat, so you could just hear someone be like, hee, hee, hee. It's like, listen to the giggling when they're invisible.
It doesn't, but when they are invisible, they do have certain items they can use that either eradicates or lessens the chase music, the heartbeat music.
Oh, right, okay.
So you can have it where if they have it so that it's just on full blast all the time, so you end up having a really good weapon perk, and it's like, okay, when you hit somebody, they'll be broken, bleeding, and something else. But as a result, you will always have a very large terror radius at all times, even when invisible.
Okay.
So you'll hear the music, and the music will get louder and louder and louder, and you can't see nothing.
That's terrifying.
It just keeps getting louder. It's horrible. The only thing you can see is a Predator Sheen, which I don't know why I'm making that reference to you, because you ain't seen any of those movies.
I mean, they're in every video game now, which is nice.
Yes. Yeah, but yes, you see the Sheen, and then it was like, okay, great. So we've had a Doctor, we've had a Wraith. What else can go wrong? Oh, it's a Wesker. Great. And Wesker's the newest. So Wesker is OP as hell right now.
Oh, okay.
Because, as in all competitive games, he's a PvE character. It's a PvP game. He's the newest. He needs to be balanced. He won't get balanced until the next thing comes out.
Right.
And it's like, come on. Okay, who's next after Wesker? Who wrecked us, by the way? Oh, look, it's Nemesis.
Oh, no. Let's get all of them in here. Come on.
And, by the way, Nemesis is scary. I've never gone up against Nemesis before. Like, Nemesis is horrifying because he is quick, but he's also that big, bulky, Nemesis.
He's just huge.
So he is running around. He has the footsteps of Nemesis, so you can hear him thunking around like crazy.
Oh, man.
He has great chase music, because all of the killers have their own unique chase music that plays when they're chasing you. Which I think is a really nice touch. Like, the Demogorgons one is like the 80s, like, synth pop kind of chase music.
Yeah.
And Nemesis is literally from the games. I'm very annoyed he didn't want to say stars.
Right. It's true.
I'm sorry. He's got one line. He should get to say his one line.
Yeah.
Like,
it's true.
That's just polite. Like,
it's just good manners.
Especially considered in our team, we had rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy and Jill Valentine, who
Yeah, you
are
got to
both
do like the
Stars members.
yeah, you got to do like the cool fighting game intro where it's like, oh, the two bad guys have a cool, unique entrance when you start a fighting game
Mhm.
match between the two of them. Yeah,
Yeah, like, it would be great if he would actually say stars when the stars people are there.
right.
And then just to wrap it all off nice and neat, we also had Michael, who is the most
Ah,
horrifying killer to go against.
yep.
All of these are considered the easy killers as well, by the way.
Okay.
So Michael's whole thing is he sits there and watches you, and then when he gets up to level 3, he can put you down in one hit.
Oh boy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then when he's at level 3, he's also faster.
Oh, of course. Why not?
So sure, why not? But yeah, it went poorly, and it was fine. It was a night of all deaths and a few blood points here and there, but
Right.
it is what it is. We had a laugh, we had a joke, we had fun. That kind of thing happened as always. So hit me up. I've got a community of people now who are into the Dead by Daylight scene. Boston, we're just waiting for you. I'm just saying.
Maybe someday.
I just want to hear you squeal. Don't take that out of context, please.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I just want to hear it because I know you'd be terrified of this game, and it's hilarious when someone who's terrified, because it's one of those things. If you're easily scared, it's a really funny game to play with you because you're easily scared.
Oh sure. Right.
And then after a while, you'll get used to the mechanics of the game, and once you know the mechanics and how it plays, you don't get scared anymore. You just start planning and logically thinking it through.
Right.
So every 6 months to a year, we need to inject someone new who's easily scared into the game so we can
Right.
hear them squeal some more.
Right.
Like, that's what we need. It feeds our passion, kind of thing.
That's right.
But no, it's fun. You should all play it. Whatever. It's on Game Pass still for some reason.
Yep.
Okay. What else? Escape Academy. If you haven't listened to our most recent episode of Game Club, you really should go listen to it. I'm not going to spoil the outcome, but I did get my full 1,000 gamer score on Escape Academy this week,
Nice.
which took me all of about 20 minutes because
Okay.
I knew all of the answers.
Right.
I was missing like 2 or 3 A+, and then the conversation one for talking to like 8 people, and then
Oh yeah.
the Die Hard puzzle in the Die Hard 3 puzzle. Boston hasn't seen Die Hard 3, Paul. I don't know why you're talking about it.
Right.
Listeners, for those of you who know, the Die Hard puzzle, you've got to do it. The Die Hard 3 puzzle, you've got to do it in 6 turns or less. Simple.
Oh, right.
I did that. That was fine. So yeah, I got my full 1,000 on that, and now I will patiently wait till next year when the DLC comes out, and then look forward to playing that.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh boy.
now, I'm going to take a very hard left turn. So I used to have my Scorpio edition. Is it Scorpio edition?
Oh, of the Xbox One?
Yes, the Xbox
Yeah,
One
the
X.
the like launch X version.
Yes.
Right.
I also have a Kinect.
All right. I'm liking where this is going.
So I got the adapter.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't work with the Series X, just so you know, folks. Don't try it with the Series X. It does not work.
Well, should have seen that coming, but it's also a little unexpected.
Mm-hmm. I played Just Dance 2014.
Uh-huh.
I still love the Kinect. I genuinely still love the Kinect. I think it is a very interesting piece of hardware.
Yep.
I think the biggest downside to this piece of hardware right now that I have and is fully functional and works is it is impossible to buy games for it anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So The original Xbox One Kinect Adventures, Kinect Sports, Kinect Fitness, all of that jazz, gone.
Connectimals.
Connectimals don't exist. Go away.
Wow. Oh, okay.
And ideally, I'm looking for physical-based media for this because it's not on my primary console, so therefore I don't want to download it. I have to sign into that one to be able to play it. What was it? Red Dragon? Dragon Keeper? The
sword game?
Crimson Dragon? Crimson Dragon.
Crimson Dragon,
That's the
there
one
it
I'm
is.
thinking of. That's got Connect achievements. I'm coming for you next, punk. So, yeah. I fell down the Connect rabbit hole. I played a bunch of Just Dance 2014. I still like the Connect.
Yeah.
It records clips of you dancing, by the way.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And fast forwards it.
Oh, no, that's a little better.
So you look like a Benny Hill skit. So the 2014 version legit has the Ghostbusters theme in it.
Okay.
And it does the Just Dance thing where it's people dressed in outfits, like on the screen, doing the silhouetted dancing thing. Yep. They've all got one glove on because if you're using a phone, that's the hand the phone has to be in.
Sure, right. Yeah, we
are
currently
a Slimer with one phone.
That's really good. We are currently watching a lady with a American flag shirt and a panda named Frank.
So let's get this out of the way. I think that Just Dance is the inferior product.
Oh, compared to?
There's only one other dancing game that uses the Kinect, dude.
Yeah, that Star Wars dancing one. It's a dance as Han Solo.
It's all my effort not to swear at you right then.
If looks could kill, I would be dead.
I literally almost swore so many times.
Oh my god. Just the immediacy of just like, I will kill you.
So I don't like it's not very, Just Dance is not very communicative in the motions that the dancers are doing. It's not very communicative in what you're supposed to be doing next. The pace and rhythm.
If you know the dance already, or it's the 50th time you have danced that dance, you know that like this swirl and the 4 pokey things means I gotta do this move. All right, cool. But like if you're dancing this for the first time, you're looking at it and being like, I'm shooting cacti out of my hands. What am I? Why am I swirling? What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Is wireless coming out of my hip? What does that mean?
Yeah, the password is pockets, by the way. That's the password for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think visually it's always been an interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
I just think gameplay and presentation is hot garbage.
Because
Dance Central exists.
Yes, and Dance Central, that game's got
the originator
style.
of this.
Yeah.
It did it with style. It did it with funk. It was incredible. It used the Kinect, especially considering the 360 versions. It used that Kinect efficiently and effectively. It was fantastic. I adored Dance Central so much. I am a white dude with no rhythm, so I can't dance worth nothing. And I still enjoy playing the Dance Central games, even if it's just to work out a little bit with minimal like effort.
Sure.
The Dance Central games were all incredible.
Yep.
I have 3 more different Just Dance games waiting to be installed. By the
way, which years of
like
Dance Central?
2016 and 2020. I think 2020.
Okay.
The 2020 version has Baby Shark on it.
Of course it does. Because I'm a person that needs to hear more Baby Shark in my life.
So part of the reason that this is my living situation has changed. So I'm doing this as more of a communal activity. So expect to hear talk of my sprained wrists and twisted ankles.
My terrible knees.
Yeah, I've already had terrible. I literally have to take fish oil every day to hold off my arthritis.
That's
This
right.
is a bad idea, but still, I'm doing it
Right.
for whatever reason. So, yeah, I'm going to be playing more Just Dance, and haven't done it yet. But I did maybe pay over the top for a digital code for Dance Central Spotlight.
Okay. I don't blame you.
Now I have to hope that it's the disc-based download version, which comes with the
Sure.
full thing, not the mini version, which only comes with 10 songs.
Yeah, it was like the sampler or demo or whatever they called it.
I haven't loaded it yet, and I haven't tried it yet because I'm terrified. But also at the same time, I want to make sure it works, and it looks like it is going to work. Dance Central is so much better than Just Dance. I do
Dance
not
Central's
care.
great. I'm watching this on the video version of the live stream. We have the clip here of Dance Central. Game's great. Also, I forgot that it counted calories that you were burning while you're playing. I was like, "Yep, that's great."
It's such a fantastic game. Like, Dance Central is amazing.
Yep.
And I hate the fact that Ubisoft took that, ripped it, completely negated the dancing part of it by only having to do it with a phone in your hand.
And it's a real bummer that once Connect was dying and died, Dance Central just disappeared. Like there was no,
like it's completely delisted.
Yeah, and but there was no option for them to say like, okay, well, Dance Central is beloved. Obviously, it wasn't as big as Just Dance because Just Dance is huge, but like they never really said, all right, we're going to take this and we're going to put it into a phone version like Just Dance. Like Just Dance was huge on the Wii because you could dance with the Wiimote and
the motion controls.
Yeah, and everything was great. And as soon as the Wii started sunsetting, and you could kind of see the writing on the wall of like, all right, well, this is obviously going to have an end. Every console has to have an end. What are we going to do for the next version? And you can just use the accelerometer on your phone. Like that's a very smart way of taking this huge thing
and
you bring it to the next step.
Genius marketing and development teams over there. Like but I really hate them because they took the Dance Central thing, they made it easier and cross-platform.
Yep.
And they made it a global super mega title. It literally comes out every year. Every single year.
I appreciate that they took the attitude that the Jackbox team has, where it's like everybody has a phone. We're going to make that the primary thing you're going to interact with this game with. I think that's really smart.
Yeah, it definitely is, but it's one of those things where it's just annoying because it's like, yeah, you did it, you did this, you made it available to everybody, and that's great. But at the same time, you took some of the heart away from it.
Yeah, like the rotoscope people is cool, but like it doesn't have the same cool style that that Dance Central had.
Yeah, I mean, harmonics are legends in the music game industry for a reason.
Yep.
It may not have sold well, but every single thing they've ever made is gold, as far as I'm concerned. Which did set me down a rabbit hole I haven't taken foot on yet.
Okay.
Because I started Googling how much for Rock Band 4 Band in a Box.
Oh, Moon. I have
because that's still on the store.
I have 3 guitars within my vision at the moment.
I don't. I left mine 5,000 miles away in a different country, and they're probably gone by now.
I have a drum set that I think was my wife's that I think is in the garage that I still need to work on, like bringing in the house and making sure it works. But when I moved from my 360 to my Xbox One, and then my Xbox One to my Series console, I've moved all of those hundreds of songs throughout, and every couple of months I will fire up Rock Band 4, and I will just like play 6 or so songs and be like, this game's still real good. I can't go any further. I need I'll do a half a dozen songs and then be like, nope, I gotta stop here, because if not, it's all I'm playing for like the next couple of months.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where I started playing a really good rhythm game again, and I was like,
Yep.
oh no, I miss Rock Band like so
Yep.
bad.
Yep.
And like I had the full band in a box, like I had the whole thing.
I had in Rock Band 4, I had the real guitar that had the Rock Band hardware in it. Do you remember that? When they made that
Uh-huh.
Fender Strat that was like £1,000,000 and you could learn how to play guitar in Rock Band 4? I did not learn how to play guitar in Rock Band 4. It was really hard. Here's a shocker. It's hard to learn how to play guitar.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if anyone's ever
But
told you that.
I need somebody to pull me back from this ledge. I need somebody to tell me how stupid it is because I know you're not the person to do it, Boston. This is why I'm sad Nimp isn't here.
I think
Because
I will surprise you. Don't buy a band in a box.
dude, it's like $700.
Don't buy a band in a box, man. 700.
Like, uh-huh.
And here's the real bummer about it.
It
Is
will
it?
be broken.
Well, no. If this was like 10 years ago, you could go to um like
Um,
a secondhand store and like
uh-huh.
they would have 15 of each one of them and probably
Uh-huh.
5 of them would work. But like now that market has largely dried up and you can't even buy like it's kind of a bummer that no one sells like no one's 3D printing the chassis for these things and then like buy a Raspberry Pi and stick it in here and wire it like this and then plug it in your Xbox and hey, you got a guitar. Like there's no
Uh-huh.
secondhand market for that. So finding it is going to be so here's the problem. I don't think you should spend the $700 to buy a band in a box because that's where
Uh-huh.
it starts. The
Uh-huh.
second phase of that is they're still uploading songs to the Rock
For
Band
the
4
DLC. I know.
marketplace. So
I
you're
know.
going to go through and spend like $300 because you're like, well, I have to buy it. Oh, that's my favorite band. I got to buy these. Oh, look,
Dude,
they put that whole
power.
album on there.
They have power to the fall on the thing. I'm just
I,
saying.
I think that's the final nail in the coffin. You can't do it.
See, I know I can't trust you for this because for those of you who haven't been listening to the show since its genesis,
Right, right.
Boston used to have a Rock Band 4 DLC section of the show, which is where
Yeah.
he would talk about every single song he bought and played in the Rock Band DLC that
Yeah,
came out that week. And it was every song, every week.
Yeah, we used to have it's this show is very old. So like when Rock Band 1 came out, the idea of a weekly releasing DLC for any game was a real novelty. So like when that came out, we're like, well, we have to talk about the songs of the week.
When this show started, the DLC was a novelty.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we probably talked about Horse Armor when it came out because the show's been around for 15 years now. Almost 16,
Dude.
2 months. Yeah.
Since this show started,
Uh-huh.
Jeff Gersman has been fired from GameSpot, started a site,
Uh-huh.
sold the site,
Yep.
left the site, and started a new project.
That's right. So like when we started the idea of one game has DLC coming out for it every week, like we had to talk about it. It was great.
Mm-hmm. Like that's for those of you who don't go back and listen to those episodes, by the way, folks, because the quality is not great. We'll say.
Oh no, yeah, we did not have good mics yet.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
it's an interesting time capsule to listen to when, because I tried it a few years back. I listened to a couple of the old episodes. It's like, oh boy, like you're talking about some games.
Uh-huh. Man, those were the days.
Yeah, I will report on Dance Central next week probably because I need to give that one a shot and see. I'm hoping it's the full game because I know I can't buy DLC for it.
I can almost guarantee you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, the game itself is delisted, so I guarantee the DLC is all delisted at this point.
I wonder if I have a physical copy of Dance Central. I don't know.
But this specifically is Spotlight, which is the Xbox One version.
Right, because they tried like that one last gasp where they put out Dance Central 1, 2, and 3, and then they're like, let's do Spotlight. And people were still like, I don't have a Kinect. And they were like, okay, bye.
Yep, because they brought Spotlight out for the Xbox One because it had to have a Kinect when the original Xbox One came out.
That's right. That's why I have 2 Kinects.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I miss plastic instruments. Is what I'm saying here, because
Yeah.
I would love to see how far I have fallen off that.
Oh,
Because
it's rough.
uh-huh. Because
Yeah.
like I said, I've been playing I dipped my toes into like 4 rhythm games this week, none of which I'm going to talk about because number one, they're not worth talking about. And number two, I performed horribly at them.
Yeah.
Um, I did hear that POD song for the first time in a long time though, the one everybody knows.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name of it.
Boom.
Yes, here
Yeah,
comes the boom. Thank you.
that's right.
Um, um, that also started me down the wait. Kingdom Hearts has a rhythm game, right?
Oh, they do. Yeah, I never picked that up. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I looked down that rabbit hole. That rabbit hole led me to the Connect, which led me to Just Dance, which led me to Dance Central, which led me to Rock Band. Like,
And then Kevin Bacon.
yes, and then Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
But well, he is in X-Men First Class, which is now a Disney property. Disney also owns part of Kingdom Hearts, so therefore there's
There you
your
go.
2 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Thank you.
Kevin Bacon is a Disney princess. Yep.
Yep, confirmed. Oh, but I miss rhythm games.
Yeah.
I know it's stupid and it's a temporary thing that will go away. I want a guitar in my hand that I press the buttons on and I go clickety clackety
Clack,
and
clack,
I
clack,
get
clack.
points.
Yep.
Like,
Isn't that what all that every man needs?
I used to be so good at those games, and I know
Yep.
for a fact I would be horrible. And honestly was probably all inspired by the sudden explosion of Trombone Champ.
I know now that whenever I need a laugh, whenever I need a pick me up, I just need to watch video of Trombone Champ and just hear the wrong bend on those trombone notes that and it makes me laugh every time.
I watched the God Save the Queen. God Save the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
I almost swore. F the King. I listened to the God Save the Queen version, and the fact that it comes up with full English breakfast in the background at the very end was just a chef's kiss moment of amazing.
It's so good at the end. It's just a full English breakfast.
Chef's kiss. But yes, that's all I've been playing. Boston, take her away, please.
All right, I I mentioned to my wife that Disney Dreamlight Valley was out, and I said, "Hey, does this seem like a thing that you would be interested in?" Got a resounding yes. So I purchased that for the PS5, and I share my library with her, so both of us started Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Did you enjoy how much talking there is at the start of that game for a game designed for children?
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but
you know why? Because we prepared you for that. We talked that up a lot.
Well, I think the other thing too is the deeper I get into this game, I really don't think it's a game for kids. I really think it's a game for Disney adults. I just don't think that they are marketing it that way. But so far Disney Dreamlight Valley is pretty solid. The camera drives me crazy because there are no invert X and Y options for the camera. So the left and right are, like, the horizontal are backwards. But when I invert the camera, then that means the up and down are backwards. So, like, I can't win either way. And it's one of those, like, left brain, right brain sort of things where it's like, I can't explain to you why this doesn't feel good, but it really doesn't. But I've just been kind of taking it slow on this. I think the thing that frustrates me a little bit about this game is, if you haven't listened to our show before, Moon and I like Stardew Valley a lot. And I think part of the reason why I like Stardew Valley is you get a 2-minute intro, and then it just leaves you alone to run your farm. And if you make mistakes, fine, you're never going to permanently do anything terrible unless you, like, join Jojo Mart and you're just some sort of, like, capitalist monster. But, like...
Can we... Just a quick pause here. Why is it that you like Stardew Valley again? Was it us forcing you to play that game?
Yeah, because I had avoided it for so long because I knew it was going to be a problem. And guess what happened? But I really respect that the there's like a level of respect for the player with Stardew Valley, where it's like, we're going to give you your
Mhm.
objectives, we're going to teach you the basics very quickly, and then just go play. Like you can make your own fun. You can decide whatever you want to do in this game. Um, and I think a big point of frustration for both my wife and I as we're starting this game is it is fairly easy to figure out what to do at the beginning of Stardew of Dreamlight Valley. And it's a lot of like, if you've played one of these games before, you have your fishing pole, you have your watering can, you have your shovel, like you know how to plant stuff, you get seeds like crazy. Like you can already start a farm and start some plots fairly easily and fairly early. But there are far too many instances of you meeting a character and Mickey being like, "Hey, by the way, let's teach you how to plant a bunch of seeds and water them and harvest them." It's like, I have been doing that for about an hour, and like the lack of recognition that you already know how to do that is a little bit of
Yeah.
a bummer. Um, and like, I get it. Like, they're designing it for people that are just gonna. They're expecting people to just kind of follow the quests from step to step to step. But it's a little bit of a bummer to run into some of that stuff every once in a while. But otherwise, yeah, it's a Disney Stardew Valley. Like it's a Disney Animal Crossing. And it's seems really well made so far. On the PS5, it runs fine. I really it's kind of a bummer because like I don't really have any complaints, but I kind of it's not revolutionizing anything,
Uh-huh.
so I don't know what else to say about it. Um,
It so far it's very middle of the road.
yeah, like it's a really solid game, but if you like Stardew Valley or you like Animal Crossing already, then I'm it's an easy recommendation for that to say, yeah, if you like those things, it's like that, and it's really good, and also like there's some stuff in there of like log in daily to go talk to your friends, and I'm like, I don't need that in like a $40 game, but okay. So there's like a little bit of that that's kind of a little chafing, um, but otherwise it's good. It's a Game Loft game. It's a Disney thing.
Mhm.
You kind of know what you're getting out of the box, and that's not really a
I
bad thing.
mean, as gamers, we are prime. As gamers of a certain age, I should say,
Uh huh.
we are prime for that nostalgia hit.
For sure.
Like we get it all the time. Like you get the new Zelda trailer, they play the Zelda music, the da da
Yep.
da da when they get
Yep.
an item. It's it's nostalgia fed into our veins from the things we did when we were kids, and that's what games like this are kind of dependent on.
Yeah.
It's a middle of the road kind of content, light slash deep, doesn't really
Hmm.
matter, but very much like Kingdom Hearts, it gets away with BS because it's just like, yeah, but look, there's Donald. Yeah, but
That's
look,
right.
there's Leon.
Here's Goofy. You still hate him, right? It's like, yeah, I do.
Sephiroth is around the corner, by the way,
That's
just so you
right.
know.
That's right. That's right. So it's solid. I'll keep playing it. I'm not entirely sure how deep I'm gonna go into it because I feel like um, if there's something else that comes out that I'm kind of really anticipating, I feel like this might be the first thing that I drop. But it certainly seems like a game I can come back to and just be like, oh yeah, like R2 holds open the menu. There's all my tools. All right, I'm good to go. Like you don't need to be like last time on Disney. Here's the controls. Like you can just do it. You can just pick it back up. Um,
Yeah.
so seems good. I like it. I played two other new games this week. First off, Jack Move. I've been talking about this for. I think we talked about this
Mhm.
last week, and I talked about it on the most recent episode of Picking Up the Pixels. This is the pixel art, kind of classic RPG. Um, I really, really like this game a whole lot. Um, it has probably some of the best pixel art I've ever seen in any game. And I wish more people would look at this game because it is genuinely incredibly good looking. It is also a single party member RPG, which we almost don't get any of anymore. Usually it's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, you start off with, you fight some rats in a sewer, and then, oh, your buddy's here, and now you have two party members. But it's really just your main character against all the enemies. It has a lot of fun with it being kind of a hacking game. Like when you, so it does this really smart thing where you're wandering around on the dungeon map, and there's a threat level in the upper right hand corner of the screen, and as that threat level fills up, it fills up to 100%. Soon you're going to get a random battle. So you can kind of see it coming. It fills up as you walk around. Thankfully, I really wish more RPGs did this. You can turn off random battles when you're walking around. Or you can set them to like super high if you want to grind. You can set them to super low or off. You can kind of change that as you want. I really like when RPGs do that, because if you've ever played any game at any point, you've been like trapped in a dungeon and you're like, please, I just beat the boss. I have like 2 health. I want to get out of here so I don't have to fight the boss again. Please just let me leave. And in this, you could just turn the battles off and get out of there. Or if you're just sick of fighting, you can do that too. So that's really smart. The battles are really clear about what you're doing. It's a fairly good challenge. It's pretty well written. There's a fairly solid mystery that's going on almost immediately. I think I've played about 3 hours so far, and I have, I think, like 3 or 4 of the 10 trophies that are available. So it seems like it's not the longest, and all of them are hidden trophies. So I'm assuming those are all like story beats. It seems like it's not the longest RPG, which I sincerely appreciate. It has kind of a neat system where you're slotting skills and hardware into your like hacking deck. You know, those like tablets you always see in cyberpunk stuff. You're putting hardware and software into that to take into battles.
Uh-huh.
And there's also, we saw this in what was that Magic School RPG we played for Game Club? Eichenfell.
Yes.
We saw this in Eichenfell where you could turn on an option to let you just win a battle with a button.
Uh-huh.
They have that in this, and it's called Buffer Overflow, which is a really, really smart way of naming that.
Yeah, that's really good.
I am genuinely really liking this. It is, I think my only criticism so far is the difficulty is pretty fair. Usually single player or single party member RPGs are difficult because you're often dealing with many more enemies than you have in your party, just because of raw numbers. My only criticism of this game so far is boss battles feel like a slog.
Uh-huh.
Normal battles feel good, but boss battles just feel like way longer than they should, and it's not even a difficulty thing. It's just this boss has 20,000 health, and you're hitting for 600 a turn, and it's sort of like that. It's just gonna take time, and that doesn't feel great. So that's kind of a bummer, but I haven't really run into anything else that's a real frustration. So if that's the worst thing this game is going to do, I'm pretty okay with it. So I picked this up because on PS Plus they had like it was like $2 off. It's $20, and they're like, yeah, you can buy it for 17. I was like, all right,
I think it's on sale on the Xbox now as well.
Oh, good. So I was like, yeah, man, I can get a couple bucks off. I've been looking for something to play that's new, because I don't want to play any of my old games. Like, not old games, but like stuff I have installed already.
Yeah, we both have hundreds of games in our libraries that we just don't feel like playing.
Yeah, old games, March. I don't want to play March 2022 games. Come on. So I was looking for something to play that's kind of an RPG. that I want to play Soul Hackers 2, but like I have not felt like firing that up yet. Um, and I thought, all right, I'll give Jack Move a try, and I really like it. I think it's really solid. I think if you enjoy RPGs, I think you should check out Jack Move. It's very very cool. Um, my last game this week, I started Shovel Knight Dig. Um, oh moon,
Which version of this is this one?
this is
Oh, this is the
the
sequel.
this is the prequel actually. Yacht Club Games came out and said this is a Shovel Knight prequel. I don't know the story of Shovel Knight at all. I just like playing it. This is
Oh,
the
it's a
roguelike,
roguelike.
the platforming roguelike one. Um, man, this game has some real cool ideas. It is taking the platforming and combat from Shovel Knight and turning that into a kind of descending dungeon crawling roguelike thing. So you're moving from the top of the screen to the bottom to uh, make your way through these procedurally generated dungeons.
What platform is this on?
That's the bummer. It is on mobile, Switch, and PC. Xbox and PlayStation will be coming in the future, as they have said.
That's I've had that before from these people.
Yeah, I'm a little, a little worried about that. I'm playing this on Switch. It runs perfectly, which is a kind of a genuine surprise in 2022. But they managed to take the platforming and the combat from Shovel Knight and really successfully translate it into this kind of bite-size, screen-by-screen, floor-by-floor roguelike thing. And it is interesting to see them translate this into this kind of like meta progression roguelike thing that takes the high notes of what we really like about roguelikes and combines it with something that feels so good like Shovel Knight.
It looks
And
interesting.
it's really cool. And they do some really smart things. So there's a really great accessibility menu where you can give yourself extra health. You can make the enemies. It's very much like Rogue Legacy 2, where you can change the difficulty of the game for you. So if you want to make it harder, you can. If you want to make it easier, you can. If you want to slow the game's speed down, you can even do that. So the game moves slower than it normally would. All of those accessibility things are great. If anyone is a baby about it, don't add us. We don't care. And combining that with how great this game plays, and then because my initial question was, you know, why is it like pushing me through this game? And if you take too long in an area, like a spinning saw comes out from the top of the screen, and
I just saw that.
when it comes near you, it like opens up and there's like a diamond tipped drill, and as soon as it hits you, it one shots you. So like you don't have to sprint through this game, but you really do have to move through it at a pretty good clip. I played a lot of this game in the last couple of days since it came out on Friday, and it's genuinely really really great. And I really wish it had come out on all the platforms, because I think this would be one of those recommendations I could have for everybody, saying like, hey, if you like roguelikes, or you liked Shovel Knight and you want to play more of that, or you're curious about roguelikes and you haven't had... We just covered Cult of the Lamb, like Moon said, on We Roguelike It. And selling Cult of the Lamb is really easy, saying, like, if you're interested in roguelikes or you like them, and you like Animal Crossing, this smushes the two of them together. And Shovel Knight Dig is a really easy sell of, like, hey, if you liked Shovel Knight, this is more of it in kind of a different package. I didn't really like the Shovel Knight, that Match 3 game. What was that even called? Pocket Dungeon?
Is that not like I know?
I didn't like that game at all because I thought it was... I don't mind if a game is difficult. I mind when a game is kind of mean about it, and Pocket Dungeon was pretty mean about its difficulty. This feels really great. It feels really well balanced, especially with you being able to change the difficulty options you want, which, again, man babies on the internet is always a good thing. And it just feels great to play something that feels like Shovel Knight. And it's beautiful. It has a great soundtrack. All of it is great, and you have that kind of cool meta progression throughout each dungeon. I can kind of tell that there are secrets hidden around every corner, and there seems like a bunch of cool stuff in this game. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. I did that thing, when a good roguelike catches you, and you're like, let me fire this up and see how it is. And then like 2 hours later, I'm like, oh, no, I actually had things I needed to do today. That's okay. I guess I forgot to do any of those. So it's really great. I wish I had more to talk about with it, but I just haven't. It's only been out for like 2 days, a day and a half or whatever. So I don't know the depths of where it goes, but it's really cool. It has cool boss battles, just like Shovel Knight. Like, it seems really great. I really like Shovel Knight Dig a whole lot. Recommend it wholeheartedly so far. It seems great. That's all I'm playing this week. Let's take a break.
Yup.
Okay. Pull up the monstrous amount of show notes here.
So how many tissues have you gone through? Like a bajillion?
God, so many. I finally feel like whatever was like bothering my nose is kind of wearing off a little bit. So okay, let me take a sip of this real quick, then I'll be ready. Okay. Are you ready for the next segment?
Yep. I'm just going to make sure I leave my Mountain Dew Voodoo tab open.
Yes. Yeah. Gotta check that.
Got to get that 6-pack when it comes out. And no,
Right.
I don't mean I'm going to hit the gym.
No. Yeah, that ship has sailed for me.
Close.
All right. What?
Close for me too, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of September 26th, 2022. Grounded comes out of early access for Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC.
Now I can play it! Yay!
Yeah, I gotta say, everybody has still seemed very positive about this game. Still, as time went on, they've added a ton of content to it. It just seems like it's a game that kept getting bigger and better. So I'm assuming, since it's a Microsoft studio now, probably going to stay on Game Pass for the long term. So, I don't know, Grounded seemed cool when I started it. I'm not really a survival game guy, but it seemed really great. It just seems like it got better. So, go check out Grounded.
I'm looking forward to all the spider effects and creeping out people sitting next to me.
Yep. Don't forget there's a spider slider in there.
That spider slider stays full.
Yeah. You can turn it into a white orb.
I want the fluffy goodness. I want the creepy skedaddling around. I want it all.
Yeah. Hoko Life comes out PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. We've been talking a lot recently about games that are like Animal Crossing. If you want something that seems to be a photocopy of Animal Crossing, that is very much this game.
It looks
seems,
like it.
yeah, it seems fine, but it very much seems like, hey, if you like Animal Crossing, we made very much one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Life is Strange Arcadia Bay Collection comes out on the Switch. This is the remastered collection of Life is Strange and Before the Storm. If you have somehow not played both of those, they're both very good.
Yeah, they're also currently on sale in the bundle sale in the Xbox store, by the way, which
Nice.
you should still have access to for one day when this episode comes out.
Yeah, for some reason they renamed the Life is Strange Remastered Collection on the Switch to the Arcadia Bay Collection for Square Enix reasons.
Remastered.
Well,
because it wasn't remastered. Because you can sit there and do a before and after comparison on the other consoles. This is the 360 version.
I see what
this
you're.
This is the Xbox One version. With the Switch version, it's like, is this a mirror?
This is the 360 version. Yeah. I do have to appreciate that they went back and they did do lip syncing for all the audio for the remaster version, which I think would go a long way for a lot of people that got bothered by that. But man, both of those games
even
are
know
really
that was
good.
an issue.
Yeah, I never really cared about it because the first game very clearly had a very small budget, but I know a lot of people were pretty bothered by it, so I appreciate that they went back and they synced all that stuff up. Next up, The Fridge is Red comes out on PC. This is a really cool looking kind of VHS effect PS1 game, essentially, that is out. It's a horror game. I'd recommend watching a trailer for this. It has a really cool aesthetic to it. It seems like a neat thing that we're seeing a lot more PS1 homage games now, and I really like that idea of people really reliving this kind of low poly PS1 aesthetic. I really dig that.
Mm-hmm.
The Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero comes out PS4, Switch, and PC. The biggest thing I have seen from reviews of this is if you have been interested in the Legend of Heroes RPGs and you don't know where to start, apparently this is a really good starting point. So either like start all the way at the beginning, or this is another kind of good entry point. Like Yakuza 0, it's like, hey, if you want to try one of these and you want to have to play 10 other ones, start here. So
yeah,
interesting. Tunic comes out PS4, PS5, and Switch. If you have listened to this show for any period of time, you probably know how much I love Tunic. I will likely be playing this again.
I was going to say, did you buy it again already?
Not yet, but I likely will this week because I just really like Tunic, and I would like to go through that game all the way over again. And I hope it runs really well on Switch because I feel like that would be a really perfect platform for more people to check this out on. I'm also really curious to play Tunic from a fresh start, knowing what I know and finding cool ways to break that game early. But we will see. If Tunic has been interesting to you, please go play Tunic. It's really, really good.
Get on them shortcuts immediately.
That's right. Deathverse Let It Die comes out on PS4, PS5, and PC. This game looks interesting, like a melee-based third-person character action thing. Almost all the footage I've seen, you're wielding a very large hammer, which is strange. I'm very curious to see how Deathverse turns out. It could potentially be like one of those cool kind of B games that we really love.
Yeah.
Next up, Let's Build a Zoo. Comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series Console, Switch, and PC. This is a tiny build.
So this is based on the movie, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson is in this one as well. Was she in that one? I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
Probably. Scarlett Johansson's in everything. She's even in a phone.
Yeah, she was the zebra.
Yeah, that's right. She really molds into these roles. It's really great. Oh God. That was really good. This is a tiny build published game where you're running a zoo. It seems very much like a pixel version of kind of the classic management god game types of games. It looks really cool. I might check that out because after
Well,
coming off of
you said the name already, so you said the poison name, which means I'm very interested now all of a sudden, which is Tiny Build.
yeah,
Broad
Tiny Build
responsibility.
publishes some pretty solid stuff. And you know, coming off of 2 Point Campus, I can be like, yeah, I could play another management game,
Go
sure,
with
yeah,
another one.
yeah. Let's build a zoo. Why not? I like the idea. Moonbreaker, that's all one word, comes out on PC. As they describe it, Unknown Worlds, the developer of Subnautica, which already a selling point, show off a
Yeah.
turn-based
Huh?
sci-fi game based on a new universe from best-selling author Brandon Sanderson. And early access starts this week. I like Brandon
Quick
Sanderson's books a lot. Yes.
vibe check. Is Brandon Sanderson a wrong or not?
No, he's fine. The only thing he
Okay.
does wrong is he can't stop writing books at seemingly an inhuman pace. So he puts out like at least 2 like full-length books every year. And it's just like, yeah, I really love writing, man. Here's another book. I finished it while we were talking. If anyone is interested in reading Brandon Sanderson, I like the the Mistborn trilogy quite a bit. Just Google it. I don't know which book is which starting that, but they're all pretty good books. But there's a lot of them, so it's not like the world's best literature or anything. But they're good. They're well written. They're fun.
This trailer makes me think of a modern day Star Wars chess from the old PCs.
Yes. I was trying to think of what it reminded me of, because like it's very much like here's a big detailed piece that we're putting on a board, and you're playing the pieces instead of like playing like a turn-based unit. Like it very much seems like a chess thing. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Star
And then
Wars
like it'll
chess.
animate the gun, and the gun will
Uh-huh.
fire. The piece will rock, but the rest of the piece stays perfectly still.
Yep.
Oh no, you can paint them, dude.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I hadn't heard about this until I watched this trailer earlier today, and I was like, that looks like a thing I would be interested in. It's Moonbreaker. I'll keep an eye on that one.
I don't need Warhammer to add onto my list of crap I'm into that's too expensive. Thanks.
Oh yeah, I don't even like looking at Warhammer stuff because I know it would pull me in. Next up is Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous. Comes out on consoles on PS4, Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC. I think this is in early access for a while, I believe. This is an Owlcat Studios game. Very much, you have 4 party members. They have a green circle underneath them. If you like these games, you already know that that's for you. It's one of those RPGs.
The Divinity Original Sin kinds,
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate kinds.
Baldur's Gate-esque sort of thing. So, like, not the type of RPG I lean towards, but apparently this one is really good. They have typically done pretty good stuff on consoles, so hopefully this checks out. Picross S8 comes out on the Switch.
Is this season 8?
No, just the 8th one. It seems like they come out with one of these every year.
Picross S8E01.
That's right. You got it. This one comes with 4-player co-op, which
No.
it seems a little chaotic and like the opposite of what I want out of an Autogram game. But they have said that they are going to be patching in touchscreen support and 4-player co-op for a bunch of the older ones. So if you have some of the older ones, touchscreen works really well on these. And if you want to do co-op, I guess that's like the opposite of what I'm looking into. I'm not sure.
Nope. Why would you want to play a Picross game with
Like literally
other
anyone
humans?
else? Yeah. Not for me. Nope. I'll go play Meow Tower by myself. Thank you. And last but not least, FIFA 23 comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC. Moon wrote, missed the most important news. I don't know what the most important news is. Is it about FIFA?
Yes. Spoiler alert, it's going to try and steal all your money. But no,
Yeah,
the most important news is Ted Lasso is now in the game, along with the team from the show.
I forgot about that. It is seen screenshots of that. They did a pretty good job of putting that dude in that game.
Also,
I really respect that because I feel like if you're gonna do some sort of crossover, you should probably
it's a
do
good
that
one.
one. Yeah,
It's a
and I don't.
very good one.
I feel like if you're upset about that, then you need to find how to have fun in your life.
And I do like the fact that that whoever runs the official Ted Lasso account was like, it feels weird seeing all my boys in CGI, except for like Roy or whatever his name is, who's the one
Mhm.
who's got the square face, looks like a tough guy.
Right,
Like apparently he looks the same.
that's great. All right, news stories this week. Nvidia announced their 4000 series cards. Oh boy, they announced the RTX 4080, which comes out in November. The RTX 4090, which comes out on October 12th. These are both riding on the NVIDIA's new Ada Lovelace architecture. And there's a lot of tech specs about this, like streaming multiprocessors and twice the performance of the 3000 series and 4 times the performance of ray trace stuff. They also, at the same time, announced a ray trace version of the original Portal, which looks fine. Like someone on Twitter said, every ray trace game just like turns down the lights and turns up the neon, so like that very much looks like Portal with the lights off and neon stuff, so that's fine. Oh boy, the 4080 will retail at $1,200. The 4090 retails at $1,600. Ha.
So this is not worth it, right?
I really struggle. I feel like when we moved from the 2000 to the 3000 series, I feel like you could look at those and say, like, yes, here is a significant leap between these cards. But this really doesn't feel like it overall, because I think for the vast majority of people, unless you're like working at Pixar, I feel like even a 3000 card is way more than you're going to be, unless you're pushing like 4K monitors at HDR and like native 4K on all the monitors. Like, yeah, you probably
And
need something a little bit bigger.
it's probably also worth mentioning that at this point, like basically reading through everything you've written here, I'm not watching no graphics card presentation. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Reading through what you've said here, it's all NVIDIA says this, NVIDIA says that, NVIDIA says
Uh
this.
huh. Yep. There are really no like the real bummer of it. And we talked. It was last week about EVGA getting out of the GPU market largely because of how Nvidia was treating them. This seems, you know, excellent proof of, oh, we announced these super cool cars. They're going to be the best. They're going to be the greatest. You do not get to touch them for a very long time. It's like, cool.
Uh-huh.
I just do not care yet. You know, like when someone gets one of these and does like a benchmark on Destiny 2 and say like, yeah, the 3000 cards run it at 200 frames. This one runs it at 250 frames per second. It's like, cool. My monitors here can do 60. So I genuinely don't care.
When when did how's AMD doing in the graphics card space?
They're doing pretty well.
Okay.
It seems like they're making they're making some chatter about announcing, but like potentially working up towards their next line of cards, which I think is the 7000 series. But I think when you look at the AMD cards, I think they're solid. I think Nvidia historically has largely had better ray tracing support, but I think AMD is making really great headway there. So I think it's Nvidia or AMD's market to kind of take at this point to say, like, look, these dudes want, like, how much a whole computer costs for just your video card. We're not going to charge you for that.
So, is this Nvidia misreading the market? Because let's face it, the 3000 series cards were impossible to get hold of because of one real thing and one real thing only.
Yep.
And that's the people who are investing in crypto and burning the planet down around them and so on and so forth. And
Yep.
those cards were priced to go.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like the 3080, I think came out what, $700?
Somewhere around that. Yeah, it was sub $1,000 if I remember. Don't quote me on that.
And that's insane that they're basically doubling and more the price of the same card numbers. I get technology change and so on and so forth. Why is it double the price?
Yeah, especially like with the market so clearly falling, like the bottom falling out of like the NFT and the cryptocurrency market, and one of the biggest Ethereum, I think it is, one of the biggest currencies switching from proof of work to proof of stake. If I remember correctly, again, I don't follow those garbage humans too much. So the market is really falling out of needing these cards to do this stuff. So the idea of Nvidia coming out and being like, these cards are 4 times as fast. Also, they're twice as expensive. It's like, there just seems to be no market for these at all.
Did you know there's a recession hitting right now?
Well, here's even the crazier thing. These cards are way bigger than the 3000 series cards. And the 3000 series cards, I have a bracket in my computer down here to just hold the card from not bending the motherboard. Like, that's how big and how heavy they are. These ones are even bigger. Here's the craziest stat. The 4090, the 24 gig RAM one, PSU
I saw
requirement,
a picture of this thing. It's insane.
It's massive. The PSU requirement, 850 watts. Which is your video card. 850 watts.
This PC I'm using has got like a 550 in it.
Right. Like mine has like 1,000, I think. And like I'm probably not even using most of that. But like all of this just seems so misguided. And like the resounding impressions from the internet, even from like the most stalwart NVIDIA fans, is just like, I don't know why I need this. Like my 3000 series card does way more. It's not even sweating for half of the stuff I throw at it. Why do I need to do this?
I can't remember where it was, but it was probably some usually like conspiracy theory crap. But I heard a lot about how the Lovelace architecture is not ideal.
Oh, interesting.
Like how, like it seems like it's not like, because the stuff that they've been using for so long, it's so refined, so finely tuned.
Ampere, the architecture the 3000 series cards uses, is very efficient. Like it is. I think that's part of the reason why it was such a huge improvement from the 2000 series cards. It's like, look, these cards are more powerful and they have more RAM and cores and like CUDA cores and all of that, and the underlying. Like the hardware and the underlying SDKs and everything are really efficient.
Like, and I think I've read somewhere that what I understand, the new stuff is nowhere near as efficient, nowhere near as fine tuned.
Right. It's just it's baffling.
There's been a lot of stuff coming out about this.
Yeah. And
none of it is good.
Actually, this Rock Paper Shotgun article I just looked mentions that the 3080 when it launched was $700. Half of the price.
Double the price.
Yeah, like it just that's bonkers. I just don't get it. I don't know. Next news story here, and our last news story: Oxen Free 2 delayed to 2023. The team over at Night School Studios says, quote, "Seeing your fan art, reading your excited comments, and connecting with you fuels our ambition to make this our best game yet, to make Oxen Free 2 truly special, and add more localizations, removing our release window to 2023." End quote. And I am sad.
Of course you are.
Yeah. Very much looking forward to it, but I feel like Night School doesn't put out a ton of stuff, so like if you need a little bit more time, especially to add more localizations, like I will never be mad about somebody saying like, yeah, we just want to release it in more regions. It's like, yeah, please, more people to play more games, especially in kind of their whatever their preferred language is. So, 2 thumbs up. Hoping for it to be good. All right,
Sorry, I'm trying to find this thing I read about the Nvidia while we're talking.
Oh,
and
yeah.
someone did the Joker meme, where it's the EVGA setting all the money on fire. It's not about the money; it's about sending a message, and the money is Nvidia cards.
That's really good.
It looks like they got out of a bad ship right at the good time, though.
Yeah, you can really look at like that news story in light of this week and be like, yeah, man, it's probably a good time to get out of that market because it's getting wild in there. All right, we have 2 emails this week. First up from Nick R. Says, I wanted to write in last week about Dead by Daylight. And I think this is 2 weeks ago because I didn't see the email last week before we recorded. Unfortunately, I got COVID on Friday a week ago. Completely ruined the weekend. I hope you're feeling better, Nick.
Yep, that sucks.
Was out of work for a week. Definitely don't recommend and give 1 out of 5 stars. Agreed. COVID is no good. I appreciate Moon and the community members assisting me with playing Dead by Daylight. I had a lot of fun, especially with a team. Tried playing after by myself and had no luck winning anything. Only thing that happened was a killer down to the crawl position at an exit gate. He then let me crawl out and win. Got the trophy for that. Also got the Ultimate Edition while I was on sale. Look forward to playing some more. Also, Boston is free on PlayStation. Yeah, we've been talking about this, actually. I was looking through like the PlayStation Plus stuff.
It's a slug victory, by the way.
A slug victory. That's a really good name for it, man. We've been talking a lot about this being available on Game Pass. I was actually looking through the PlayStation Plus stuff the other day. It's also available for free on PlayStation Plus. So if you've got one of those, it's probably cheap on Switch too, but I don't know if I would recommend it over there. So go check it out. On to a different topic, if that's okay. I wanted something calm to play while recovering. Saw SnowRunner was on sale and got that. This game has got me hooked. You play in different maps of the world. You start in Michigan after a flood. You need to bring supplies to rebuild the town. All kinds of trucks help you navigate. Some that can get through mud easier, or highway trucks that will not work on anything else. Have to bring limber or steel beams to build infrastructure back up. You have to use trailers due to load size being massive. The roads are narrow, and you have to decide which path to take. Also, they have mods, so you can get some very good trucks that make it a lot easier. I've already put 10 plus hours into it and still haven't left the first map. It's what I needed for a comfort game. Thanks for letting me write this. Appreciate all the work, all you do.
So do you know about the Runners games, Boston?
I do, and I've been keeping like half an eye on SnowRunner.
They're literally on my watch lists, by the way. Because you want to give me a truck simulator game that looks that beautiful and it lets me drive through procedurally like operated mud?
Yeah, and like there's something about it that I think Death Stranding like tickled that very tiny part of my brain of like, you're going to very slowly and deliberately move through this difficult environment to do point A to point B. And there's something about that in games that I kind of appreciate, and I get that same like Death Stranding, like you got the backpack on, you're walking across this terrain sort of thing that in the Runners games.
Them triggers to get the lean going.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it very much seems like that of like, all right, I think I've found my path. I've got the right truck, got the right tires. Now I'm gonna like slowly, kind of deliberately maneuver my way through this, and kind of like fight the elements and fight the slipping and stuff. And something about that game is kind of, my brain is like, you need to get that. You should play that. You can play this one map for 2 hours, and it's gonna be like the most intense thing you've ever done. It looks really good.
Mudrunners, like when I first saw Mudrunners, spoiler alert, Bruce Scanlon likes these games.
That's a good endorsement.
So when I saw Mudrunners, him and Vinny both fell in love with Mudrunners and SnowRunner. I was like, oh no, I need to like.
I'm in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, they both look really cool, and it's good to hear that they're like intense, relaxing, and that seems pretty good. I should probably play those. Put it on the pile. All right, thank you, Nick, for writing in. Appreciate it as always. Long time listener and fan of the show.
Yeah, and anytime you see us online, or if you see it, you want to drop us a message on Discord, let us know. We have the group now on Discord that you're a part of, so you can just drop us a message, and we'll all let you know if we're available or not. Don't be afraid to hit us up.
Yeah. Yeah. Worst thing you can hear is I can't do it right now. So no problem. Pharaoh Reigns sent me a message on Discord saying, wanted to get a shout out today. Today is Clarissa and mine's 2nd anniversary. Can you send her my wishes? Yes, I will send. Congratulations. Happy anniversary.
All of the wishes.
Yeah, all of the good wishes, none of the bad. Congratulations. I hope the both of you have many more. And thank you for being such great fans of the show. Says, also, have a fun question for you guys if you have time this week. What is your all-time guilty pleasure game? The best Alpha Protocol you've ever played? Mine is and always will be Army Men Toys in Space.
Army Men games were some quality games back in the day.
They were really good. Like I feel like they got unfairly maligned because they were like pumping one out every year, and everyone was like, why would I want to play the same game every year? And EA was like, wait a minute.
The same thing.
Yeah, like EA and Activision were like, wait a minute. All right. Yeah. Okay. If I only make 200 more people crunch for each game, we could put one out. Huh. Yeah.
All-time guilty pleasure game.
All-time guilty pleasure game. Oh, man.
I don't play it enough to be considered it, but I adore it every time I play it, even though it's frustrating and broken as hell, and that's Blast Core.
Oh, Blast Core's great.
For those of you who don't remember, that's the Demolition Crew game for the N64, made by Rare.
I liked, on PS2, I liked Gungrave a lot. It was a game where you play as a guy who has a coffin that he carries around that's also a gun. It's maybe not the best game ever, but I kind of liked it a whole bunch.
Don't forget Gungrave Brawl got announced, dude.
Yeah, there's also like a Gungrave VR as well. I'm gonna put some footage of Gungrave here on the stream if anyone hasn't seen it. It's also I forgot it was cell shaded, which was kind of the hot thing at the time.
Parasite Eve is also always one of my go-tos because even the second one, which is much more arcadey and less JRPG, is still a insanely good game.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I would have to say for both of us, Moon would be Final Fantasy VIII because people really hate that game.
True.
And I genuinely like it a whole lot. I'm trying to think of other.
It's the best Final Fantasy.
It's really good. I feel like a guilty pleasure that we all kind of enjoy is 13. It's certainly not.
I'm not going to say it. I could say it. I'm not going to say it.
I feel like 13's biggest crime was that it was okay. You know, like it was just fine. It was an okay first-person shooter that was fine. What other guilty pleasure games?
Kingdom Hearts?
I mean, I am always a pretty big sucker for Kingdom Hearts, just kind of in general. The thing that I always think about is, like, especially with how I think Feyre kind of set up the question really well.
With
Of
the Alpha
like,
Protocol part.
yeah, like guilty pleasure is like something that most people kind of look down on or think is bad, and you're like, no, despite what it is or despite how good it is, I really enjoyed this thing.
I got yours.
Hmm.
Easy one for you. If you ignore the condition it is currently in,
Yeah.
and think about what it was when it came out, No Man's Sky is your solution to this question.
Yeah, that's got to be mine. I feel like when that game came out, I was like, I'm exploring the universe and I'm having a lot of fun. And everyone else is like, it's bad. I was like,
Oh,
I don't think so. I'm having fun exploring. Yeah, that's gotta be mine. I think.
Elite Dangerous might be up there for me in that one too, if I'm completely
Yeah,
honest. Because that is a game that is almost impossible.
it is impenetrable.
Uh-huh. Like, the only space game that's more impenetrable than this is Eve.
Yeah, sort of famously.
And then the only game more impenetrable than that is Star Citizen, and that's just because you need to be a millionaire to play that game. I kid. It's all a giant fleece.
That's right. It'll get finished someday, right?
It's a space-based pyramid scheme.
That's right. That's right. What if we could take a Ponzi scheme to space?
Uh-huh.
There we go.
But no, Elite Dangerous is probably there for me because it's like, yeah, the tutorials are broken, and I had to literally watch YouTube videos linked in the game to start playing it.
Right.
But man, that game was great. Oh no, I also got a good one. Monster Hunter.
Ooh, yeah. Monster Hunter, I feel like, is finally getting its due in the West.
With World, it was a lot better. Before that, I remember trying to talk you into playing Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the PS Vita, and it was like a never-ending task for me to try and get you to play that.
Yeah, those games, before World, those games were a lot of like, look, if you're not used to playing Monster Hunter, you have a big hill in front of you to get the basics down. Yeah. Those are good guilty pleasures, though. I like them. Thank you for sending in the questions, Nick and Pharaoh. Appreciate it. That's our episode for this week. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page, including a link to the Discord server. Moon and Nimp and Musum and I are all active over there. We got a whole bunch of very active channels, including the Marvel Puzzle Quest channel that is it sort of infrequently but amusingly active. Game's still good. It's still getting a ton of content. So you can go check that over there, and don't forget to go support us over at patreon.com/E1M1.
Those ones are numbers.
You can get all the cool audio that we release. We release a lot of episodes over there every month. You're going to get a lot of audio if you are a patron. The $5 a month tier is the one that's recommended. That gets you everything, including the exclusive Outcast and the exclusive Critical Misses production meeting, where Moon and I kind of talk about what's coming up next, what ideas we're having, doing psychic damage to each other, all the usual stuff. If you can't support us financially, totally understand. Best way to help out this show is by rating wherever you listen to, sharing with your friends, sharing on social media. All of that stuff genuinely really does help. Word of mouth is kind of the best way to help this stuff grow. And the more people that are listening, the happier that I will be at the end of the day when I go to sleep and think, oh, yeah, so many people listen to the show. It's so good. That's our episode for this week. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
I only wrote down one title this week because it's the one that gets my vote. How many titles do you have?
A lot.
Okay, good.
You first. You got the one.
Oh, the 5,000 Mile Straw.
That is the first one I wrote down.
Yeah, that's an easy leader for me.
Okay, let's see how these ones go then. Stupidity Like This, Sisyphean Task, solar rays happened. He's got one line, shooting cacti out my hands, the genesis of the show, DLC was a novelty. I knew it was going to be a problem / gonna be a problem. That nostalgia hit. Buffer overflow. Is this a mirror? Picross S8E01. Slug victory and space-based pyramid scheme.
So I wrote down DLC was a novelty in Picross S8E01.
I'm not gonna like 5,000 Mile Straw is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And before all you physics people come at me, yes, I know you can't suck anything that far down without the pressure of the thing having issues. I'm aware.
Right.
Thank you.
Are there any other ones that kind of jumped out for you?
I really like DLC as a novelty, or DLC I like that was a novelty.
Yep.
Picross S8E01 just sounds like a hilarious, stupid Netflix adaptation.
Yeah, I feel like if you produce TV or podcast, that one is probably going to tickle you pretty nicely.
I think DLC was a novelty, kind of takes it for me, because we did harken back to the beginning of the show, and
it's true.
Literally DLC wasn't a thing.
Yeah. I'm okay with that one if you want to do that one.
I'm torn. Like, DLC was a novelty and 5,000 Mile Straw are both good.
Thing is, like, 5,000 Mile Straw is a TVGP title. Like, that's a non-sequitur classic.
Non-sequitur, yeah.
DLC was a novelty is just like a solid, non-regular episode title. Yeah, we are old, too. I think when we started the show, Brad and I are like, I hope we're still playing video games by the time we're 40. Haha.
And in your case, you're still doing the show by the time you're 40.
That's right.
We can do 5,000 Mile Straw. I'm just going to think of something for it now.
Something non-suggestive.
That's asking too much now, Boston.
I'm but one man.
Hold on. I might have something here.
Okay.
But I've got to...
Moon's opening up some research here.
Yes, he is.
Physics of straws.
Nope.
Plus math. Plus Wolfram Alpha. What is the world's longest straw? ?
Nope. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay.
This is... I had to research this, so this is
I appreciate it. That's much more we put into the show in general. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 779 for September 26th, 2022. The 5,000 Mile Straw.
I need someone in Davenport, Oklahoma to crack a can for me.
I appreciate that. I like that. And I like all of you for hanging out with us, watching the show, and listening. We sincerely appreciate it. And we hope we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.